Walmart has been selling off lately after I was noticed it was overbought there for a week prior. But it's been pulling back. And so if we pull up a Fibonacci on it, which I already have traced out from the 52-week low to the 52-week high, and we go back on it, where would I enter? Well, looking at it now, it's pulled back for the first level. It gapped down. Zoom in on that. You can see it's hitting the first Fibonacci level at 23.6, but that's not an area I would want to enter. Now, the 38.2 is coming up next, and that sits about $113.49 roughly on that level. So I'd see how it reacts to that level. There's some previous consolidation there too. So I'm interested to see what happens there. But a real decent entry, I think, would be going back to at least the 50 Fibonacci retracement and ideally the golden pocket. Now, the golden pocket is the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement. That's currently sitting at $100.43 currently. We've already started a pullback. So, where would I trade this if I was going to trade Walmart? Ideally, like I said, at the golden pocket at $100 roughly. So, I'd coincide that with a reading of the RSI if it gets to oversold conditions. In other words, down around 30 on the RSI right there. If it gets oversold, and really the reason it's dumping is one excuse is their forward guidance going forward for forecast sales going into the year was kind of soft and it's been dumping, but that could be an excuse for a take profit cycle because it had been pretty elevated too. It was above 70 RSI, had been going up all year and doing really well. And there was a rotation in the staples. And so Walmart benefits from that naturally. So it's a take profit cycle. It's going to pull back. I don't think it's over. I think we got further downside to go on Walmart potentially, but nothing goes in a straight line. Just like it went up in a chopping manner, it's going to come down similarly. So there'll be trading opportunities if it moves sideways and consolidates at points. But I like the longer term trade when I trade good companies. And so I look for a retracement down to a good risk reward. And so for me personally, I look at a golden pocket area, 61.8 fib, as ideal. Doesn't mean that the price action is going to get there, but if I was going to, for example, sell puts on it, my strike price would be up that 100 area. And if I was going to buy call leap options, it would have to hit between the 50 Fibonacci and the 61.8 fib in that range of consolidation right there. And so if it hits that, that's where I would enter on buying a coal leap option. That's basically buying a coal option with a long expiration. And I'll probably go with a 70 delta or something like that on the options. So anyway, looking at it, that's what I see on the chart, and it was due for a pullback because it was getting kind of frothy, and that's exactly what happened on the softer forecast for sales going forward to 2026. So keep it in mind, guys. A lot of times you see the forecast, and they'll beat expectations a lot of time for their guidance calls. They'll lower expectations, and a lot of times they'll actually have an earnings beat. But it's that guidance that people are looking at going forward that people pay attention to the most. So Walmart's a great company. So if you do get a discount on it, you can't. It wouldn't hurt you to start averaging down on what some of these retracements, in my opinion. Now this isn't financial advice, but am I looking to trade Walmart? Yeah, I would. If it pulled back, like I said, between the 50 and the 61.8 area on the Fibonacci, I would definitely start trading at that level. And that put you on that 61.8 Fibonacci at $100 roughly. That's slightly below the 200 day, which a lot of traders say that nothing good happens below the 200 day. But there's not a bearish case for Walmart per se outside of going forward if they miss on sales. They forecast softer sales going forward, and a lot of times they just do that. So, um, in my opinion, when you get a good company pulling back those levels, it's a dip buying opportunity, and that's how I see Walmart too. So, I would be willing to start a trade in that level, like I said, anywhere from 100 to 105, even 106, even. All right, guys, take care. Bye.